Christians, my friend here says that tribulation, the great tribulation, that is coming. No, it's not, because there is no such thing. Tribulation has been happening ever since Christ came the first time. Tribulation has been happening ever since Christ came and ascended, but it's been happening ever since, and it still happens today. Christians are going through tribulation throughout their entire lives and in varying degrees. The idea that there is a great tribulation coming, the Bible knows nothing about this in terms of it being a particular carved out event. Now, those who believe in the so-called Great Tribulation, they believe that this is a carved out 7-year period. This is what dispensationalism teaches. But here's the problem. The problem is, even according to their own interpretation of Daniel 9, which states that their interpretation indicates that there is a 7-year period of tribulation. But even in their own interpretation, the tribulation is only 3.5 years, because they say that in the middle of the 7-year tribulation, there is going to be a break between the Antichrist and the rest of the world. A treaty is going to be broken, as it were. So in their own interpretation, the first 3.5 years of the so-called 7-year tribulation is not tribulation at all, but is peace. So how can a 7-year tribulation be 7 years of tribulation if the first 3.5 years aren't tribulation at all, but peace that supposedly the Antichrist made with Israel? That would not be tribulation if it was peace. They go on further to say that in the middle of the week, the covenant will be broken. They say that the covenant will be broken. And then that would usher in all out hell on earth, basically, for 3.5 years. So really, even in their own interpretation of Daniel's 70th week, only the last 3.5 years of that 7-year period is actually tribulation. Surely you can all see the foolishness of this. So the reality is this: Christianity, ever since Christ came and gone, Christianity is subject to temptations, afflictions, persecutions, and tribulations, and in varying degrees and in varying stages across the various ages of our existence. Christians were made by God to endure by faith all tribulation. There is no 7.5 or 7-year tribulation, or even a 3.5-year tribulation that the Bible speaks of. But the Bible speaks of tribulation in general, and it being applied to all of Christendom. Be provoked and be persuaded.